the number one thing going for the 49ers this year?
Okay, I'll take this one.
Okay.
And it's going to make me sound contradictory. Trey Lance.
I love it.
He is, and he's the big change. Now, I don't see into the future. He could flop. But from everything I know about him and from what you've reported, Iggy, this is has the potential, this young man, to be a monster talent. Yes. And to be a monster upgrade over Jimmy.
Yes.
And if that's the case, they haven't had anybody like that since Steve Young.
Correct.
Well, so I'm thinking if he turns out to be what they hope him to be,
right.
Well, I've said it's a 7-win team, but if he turns out to be what they hope him to be, this could be a Super Bowl contender.
Absolutely. Agree. I'm going to go with something else, though. I'm going to go with the defense, because even though when we talk about the Niners, when national pundits talk about the Niners, it's usually about the offense because Kyle Shanahan's the star of the team and Trey Lance is also the star of the team. Every year, the defense is better than the offense. And this year, the offensive coaching staff was totally revamped. There's all new coaches. There's a new quarterback. There's questions in the offensive line. I think it's another year where the offense will be kind of figuring it out as the season goes along, and the defense is going to be winning games for them. So while they're figuring out on offense, the defense is going to be playing just elite football and winning. And that they've been doing that for years. So that's always a nice little safety net to have, because if Trey Lance is struggling early on or improving and their defense was terrible and they were losing, there'd be a lot more pressure than if he was struggling and winning. And I think that's going to be the situation there.
I like it. There's a cliche. You entertain with offense and you win with defense. Yeah. And essentially that's what you're saying.
Right. And to Kyle Shanahan's credit, he's the GM of this team essentially, and he decides which positions they prioritize, and he's been steadfast. It's D-line. I just want to have the best defensive line. I'll figure out everything else after that. And it's like he thinks of himself as a great offensive coach. He can scheme up what he needs to scheme up. Give me a great left tackle. I'll figure out the rest on defense. I just want to load up my team with as much defense as possible. Seems to be working.
It is. You know, he's emphasized the defensive line, but he's also got in line with us thinking about the secondary.
Yeah. To me, it's like a philosophy.
Finally come aboard.
Yeah, I think it's like a philosophy he inherited from his dad, and it's a little old school.
Yeah, especially what the league's become.
I mean, if I were thinking about how to put together a defense, I would be looking at Bill Belichick. What do you do? And he invests in secondary. He traded Richard Seymour. Remember?
And Richard Seymour came over to the Raiders, and frankly, I don't think he was necessarily a good influence on the Raiders.
And he wasn't that great on the Raiders. Belichick also traded Chandler Jones, who's been elite for years on Arizona. And Belichick's attitude is those defensive linemen are too expensive. I can get similar production as a platoon. You can platoon people on the defensive line, run stoppers, pass rushers. In the secondary, those guys play 100% of the snaps.
Yeah.
They better be good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like it.
Okay. Wolf Life Wild says, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like with Trey and everything, you've becoming a fan again. Grant, best to you both, quality control. I'm definitely not a fan, but I do want to say that I grew up a fan of the Niners and Steve Young, and the fact that Lance reminds me of Steve Young is a hoot. I'll put it that way. It's a hoot.
I would like to add to that. I think what we're talking about today is enthusiasm. We're enthusiastic about Lance from the point of view of how does this drama play out?
Right.
What is it like to cover this young man? That's different from rooting.
Yes.
Rooting is, it's wonderful for fans to do, but in many ways it's to ignore reality.
Right.
It's to say, you know, Jimmy's really good. He's gonna, if you keep him, he'll win a Super Bowl. It's not going to happen. And we're not like that. We don't root. We are not emotionally involved, but we are enthusiastic about the drama we cover.
Exactly. We see ourselves as drama critics.
Yeah.
And so we're watching a game like a drama critic would watch a play thinking, oh, that was a really nice choice by the director. That was a really nice little touch by the actor. Not like, boy, I hope the protagonist gets the girl at the end. You know what I mean? Boy, I hope things work out. There's a happy ending. And that's kind of how fans interact with sports. Like, this is real, and I hope everything works out, and I want to clap at the end. We're like, you know, tragedy, comedy, either way, like, it doesn't work. Does it work? Is it effective? That's how we look at it. And
Is it
most people
effective?
don't.
You know,
Yeah.
Hamlet's a pretty good play, and it's a
Yeah.
tragedy.
Yeah. He dies at the end. Very, very upsetting. Sorry, spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Hamlet
Right.
dies at the end.